Hello, friend, and welcome to quiz number 4 of Audio 4. We're going to try to cover mastering, at least the basics of it. I know everybody is really interested in mastering and they want to master for themselves, and I can tell you from my own experience that, the basics I can tell you about. Getting good at it just takes a lot of practice and a lot of trial and error, as far as I can tell. But let's get into it. Good. The first question asks, what is the first thing you should do once you've done the best you can mixing? And it is not to jump in and start mastering. No. You should take a break from the project and come back later. Listen to it again, see if you need to remix, and then get into mastering. All right, question number 2, what is the main purpose of mastering the project? And that is to create a cohesive, saleable product out of your project. Yep, getting it to where you want it to be. The next question is true that before hiring a professional mastering engineer, you should consider their experience, their previous work, their attitude, how well you work with them, all of those things. And the next question asks, what could be a helpful exercise to do if you decide to be your own mastering engineer? And that is create a playlist of mixes that have achieved the sound that you're looking for. And that's a good thing to do. I can also give you some references that I have used and that other people have used, especially for different genres, maybe that you haven't mixed before. Okay. The next question asks, which fundamental engineering concept is especially beneficial to keep in mind? Signal chain, right? It all comes back to the signal flow, signal chain. You know where it's coming from, where it's going to, what it's going through on the way there. All right, number 6, that during the mastering process, you finalize the sound file resolution. What bit depth, what sample rate you're going to use. All right. Question 7, dither is added when mastering is to reduce distortion when reducing a project's bit depth. Yeah, whenever you're going from a higher bit resolution to a lower bit resolution, you should have some dither on it. I think this is going to be less and less of a thing. I used to do a whole lecture on this in and of itself, but pretty much we're at the point now where any limiter is going to have just a single button that says, hey, do you want to add some dither to this? And my guess is within the next 5 years, 10 years, that is even going to go away, that computers are just going to say, hey, you know what, we can take care of this if we ever realize that we're going from a higher bit resolution to a lower bit resolution, we need this much dither. And I think it's going to be in the background, and we're not even going to have to push that button anymore. Okay, the next question, 8. When mastering multiple songs into a single project, it's important to smooth out the relative volume. You don't want one song to be way louder than another. Number 9 is a true-false. And it is true that EQ is a very important tool for polishing the low, mid, and high frequencies of an overall project. But that seems like a safe bet. And lastly, its compression is kind of the most controversial, subjective, and consequentially the most difficult. Yeah. And I think we kind of see compression, especially compression and limiting, being kind of the most fashionable things that go in and out of style and really mark records as being from a certain time period. Okay, but what is true of any time period is that the kangaroo says, at these prices, I am not surprised.